5 seconds. Start. The massive victory at the polls has placed a tremendous responsibility on the shoulders of the Congress party and the government, and I am sure the government will be able to respond to the trust and confidence in a befitting manner. Whatever achievement we may have had during the last year, much more and much greater tasks lie ahead of us. The slogan of Garibi Hatao must be translated into practice, and all energy of the government must be geared to that end. The mandate may be for another 4 years for Lok Sabha or 5 years for state assemblies. But as our Prime Minister has declared yesterday, we have to make all efforts to fulfill our pledges within the next 3 years. To this end, I would like to make a few suggestions. The first task is land reforms. Various steps taken by the government have been indicated by the President in his address. We have now to gear up the whole process at an accelerated speed so that the problem of land registry button is solved, injustice and exploitations are removed, and the last vestige of feudal order is eliminated from our socio-economic life. Science must come in a much more vigorous way to the aid of our agriculture so that the Green Revolution may be carried forward to cover the entire country and to make the nation self-reliant not only in food crops but also in commercial crops. In fact, our aim should be to produce surplus and therapy help in earning additional foreign exchange. I must, however, sound a note of warning against general encouragement to large-scale mechanization in agriculture. Greater and greater emphasis should be on such mechanization which does not add to the already existing army of rural unemployed. Extensive programs of rural construction have already been seriously considered in order to meet the problem of rural unemployment, and the same will have to be put into operation with greater and greater zeal and a sense of urgency. We have not made much progress in the field of industrial production. Measures have been indicated in the presidential address. I would like to emphasize the importance of giving more attention to the small and medium scale industries and to the question of dispersal of industries. Increasing facilities of credit and supply of raw materials are the crying needs of the small and medium sectors. While expansion of public sector is our declared and committed policy, urgent steps are needed to create a specialized cadre of personnel to run and manage the public sector industries if we want them to function in a really business-like manner and to produce the desired results. We have already passed an act to control the monopolies, and I think we have not made much progress in that direction. I would like to ask the government to take all possible steps to implement that act so that monopolies are prevented from growing further at the cost of poor. Mr. Vice Chairman, I find it a little difficult to deal with the President's address because it deals with rather wide generalities, generous promises, and fleshly programs without any figures that will tell us definitely what is going to be achieved. No figures disfigure this President's address. Those figures might be inconvenient. They might attract comment, hostile criticism. That is why I suppose figures were omitted. But in any presidential address that makes promises about future performances, some idea should be given as to the quantities of the things that are to be done for the people some idea of the approximate figures, the finances that will have to be allotted for the achievement of these promises. The only figure that I came across in the presidential address is an allotment of rupees 40 crores to the Kolkata Metropolitan Area Development Project, but that I suppose is done for electoral consideration. It is not figures but words that are indulged in when the address refers to the outlays that the country has to face. Greater outlay is promised for the public sector. Small scale sector has to be satisfied not with greater outlays but with larger allocations of raw materials and liberal imports. We are promised Arthik Swaraj. I suppose it means economic Swaraj. That means aiming at self sufficiency as far as possible. One can welcome this attempt at economic self reliance. But in this era of interdependence of one country upon another, no country, however rich or however powerful, for instance, the United States of America, England, Germany, or the Soviet Union, can be sufficient unto itself. It has to be depend on foreign trade. It has to depend on foreign capital. It has to depend on foreign know-how. I hope it is in the sense that economic Swaraj is aimed at. We are told in the presidential address that foreign aid will not be accompanied by any political strings. I hope this resistance to political strings will apply not only to the United States of America but also to the Soviet Union, because we have begun to receive large foreign aid from the Soviet Union. Another outlay referred to in the address is for the social welfare. The low priority given to it in the fourth plan is deplored and promise is made that it will rectified. But to what financial extent? One important part of social welfare is promotion of adult literacy. India has the proud eminence of being one of the most illiterate countries in the world. 75% of her people are illiterate. We cannot wait for our young children to be illiterate in the course of 10 or 15 years. The adult illiterate population of 100 million have to be made literate as soon as possible. How can any elementary social and economic progress be possible without a literate population? We have conducted universal surveys with universal illiteracy, and we found the results of that in the recent elections held in all parts.